Okay, hello there. I'm just going to go ahead and start with question 5. This is a question paper that was done in June 2022. And I thought, let me start with question 5. Let's get started. So here it says, Letitia buys a new bakkie with a portion of her retirement fund. Dimensions of the new bakkie. Dimensions of her new bakkie and her existing garage are shown below. And now we're going to take a look at this dimensions of her bakkie, and there's the bakkie. So if you see this car here, there is a height over there and the length and the breadth. So this is, or the width, whether you call it a width or a breadth. So the length, of course, will be the longest distance, which is 5,362 meters. And the width, so how wide is it? And then that is 1,860. And we have over here we have the height, right? So we have the height as well. So what's going to happen is that on this side we see, unfortunately my picture didn't come out well in the printing, but this is the car here. If you can see, let me just highlight a little bit of it. So this is the car. And as you can see, that's the windscreen over there. Not sure what is going on with my car here. Okay, so that's the car. And the car here takes up this entire space here, centered to the garage. And then there's this space on the left and on the right where it's called D. So there's a space that will be left. So if I were to move the car here, there will be a space maybe about this much left here, right? And then we have the length of the room, which is 6 meters. And the width of the room, which is 3.6 meters. And we have the opening where the car goes in, which is 2.7 meters. So the first question, I use the information above to answer the questions that follow. Okay, let's see. Identify which view of the bakkie is represented by the dimensions 1,815 millimeters by 1,860. So they're saying which view. Now let's talk about views. For example, if I'm looking at the car from here, I'm looking at the front view, right? And if I'm looking here, I'm looking at the side view, whether it be I'm looking on the right or I'm looking on the left. And then if I'm looking from the back, that'll be the back view. And if I'm looking from the top, which means I will see this area here, that would be the top view. I can also go underneath and look from underneath, and that would be the bottom view, right? Not usually, but it's the bottom part, right? Okay, so here I see this side, which is the side view. I see the front view, and I see a bit of the top view, right? But there's also back and another side. So they're saying here, if you see a dimension that is this by this, right? Which is, if you're looking at it like this and you're seeing 1,815 by 1,860, which part would you be looking at? So I see 1,860 there. So that means I'm already looking here. But what other dimension am I seeing? If you see there, you see the height. So the height, it will go from there upwards, right? So that would be this area over here. I'm looking at the car from the front, or I could be looking from the back there, and I see the width of the car and the height of the car. So this view here will be the front view or the back view. That one, those are the two that will have this dimension, right? And then calculate the value of D, and here is D here, right? So calculate the value of D, the space between the sides of the bakkie and the sides of the wall of the garage, if the bakkie is parked exactly in the middle of the garage. So the bakkie, they're saying the bakkie is parked in the middle of the garage, which means this side here is the same as this side here, which this side is the side of a car, between the side of the car and the side of the wall. And there we have this D here, and then we have this D here, and they're saying what are those distance there? Okay. Let's see. Now, if I see this car, the width of the car from the beginning to the end, this is the opening of the car, the width of the car, there it is, 1,000. I'm just going to put it there, 1,860 millimeters, right? So, and then we have this distance here, and then we have this distance here. But what is the distance from here to here? It's 3.6 meters. So I'm going to take away the space taken by the car, and I'm going to be left with the total space that is not used by the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 3.6 meters is minus, then I'm going to say minus 1,860 millimeters. And then as I'm doing this, I notice, this is millimeters, this is meters. I cannot subtract the two. They must first have the same unit of measurement. So I say, no. I have to divide this by 1,000, right? So I have 3.6 meters minus 1.86 meters. Letitia needs to choose a color of the window tint. The bakkie comes in 4 colors: white, black, blue, and green. And the windows can be tinted using 35% tint and 50% tint. Right. State how many different choices there are for the color. So there's 4 color choices and there's 2 tint choices. So if he chooses white and chooses to tint the 35%, that would be one choice. But he can also choose white and tint that with 50%. Getting the same answer. I did it off camera because I forgot I had my camera switched off. But it's white 35%, white 50, right? Black 35, black 50, blue 35, blue 50, green 35, green 50, right? So, and that is 2, 4, 6, 8 choices. That would be the answer there.